So let's talk about the absolute train wreck that is happening right now on The Bold and the Beautiful. Honestly, I have been staring at my screen for hours trying to process this, and I am just so overwhelmed by the sheer audacity of what is going down. Brooke Logan Forrester is currently living in an absolute fantasy world. She is eagerly awaiting the return of Hope Logan Spencer to Forrester Creations. Brooke is literally celebrating. She is walking around the Forrester offices acting like everything is perfectly fine, hyping up her daughter, defending her against Steffy, and just generally acting like Hope is about to walk through those doors and save the Hope for the future line. But she isn't. Hope is absolutely not coming back. And that is the biggest, most explosive secret on the show right now. Hope has secretly become part of the Logan team. She is working with Katie Logan Spencer. She is busy developing a brand new product line that is supposed to make massive waves in the fashion industry. And she hasn't told her mother a single thing, not a word. Just complete and total silence. And honestly, what were they thinking? What was Hope thinking? If Hope had just been honest with Brooke about her plans, maybe they could have actually understood each other. Like, maybe Brooke would have still been mad. Actually, no, she definitely would have been furious. Brooke is always furious when things don't go her way or when her family is divided. But at the very least, if Hope had just sat her down and said, "Mom, I'm leaving Forrester. I'm going to work with Aunt Katie," Hope wouldn't have been actively lying to her face while abandoning Forrester Creations. The lying is the worst part. It really is. The deception is what is going to make this so incredibly messy when the truth finally comes out, because it's a double betrayal. It's not just a business move, it's a personal attack. Hope is letting Brooke look like an absolute fool in front of Steffy and Ridge. Brooke is out there fighting battles for Hope, demanding that Steffy respect Hope's leave of absence, demanding that Hope for the future gets relaunched, and all the while, Hope is secretly designing for the enemy. Well, the rival anyway. So when this secret blows up, and you guys know it is going to blow up in the most spectacular, public way possible, Brooke is going to lose her mind. She is going to snap. And we need to talk about what happens next. Because Brooke is not just going to sit there and cry, she is going to retaliate. We are looking at a massive mother-daughter war, and there are 3 very specific, very brutal ways Brooke could take her revenge on Hope once this secret is exposed. Let's get into the first scenario. Number 1. Does Brooke absolutely trash Hope in the press? Let's be real here. The media is going to have a total field day when it is revealed that Brooke's golden child, her precious daughter, has defected from Forrester Creations to join Katie's newly established Logan fashion house. The B&B spoilers are already hinting that this is going to be massive news. The fashion world is going to be buzzing, and you know how this show handles PR disasters. They always have these impromptu press conferences or exclusive interviews with Ion Fashion. Brooke is going to be backed into a corner. The reporters are going to be shoving microphones in her face, asking her how she feels about her daughter abandoning the family legacy, and Brooke. Brooke might just go on the offensive. I can completely see Brooke giving a scathing interview. She could publicly criticize Hope's decision, framing it as a massive mistake. She could spin the narrative to make Katie's company look like a joke. Imagine Brooke sitting there, looking perfectly coiffed, telling a reporter that she is deeply disappointed that Hope would throw away her established career to join a struggling startup. Ouch. Just brutal. Calling Logan a struggling startup would be the ultimate shade. Especially since Katie and Bill are pouring money into it, but Brooke would do it. She would emphasize that Hope had far better opportunities at Forrester Creations. She would make it sound like Hope is making a reckless, emotional decision rather than a smart business move. And maybe I'm being too harsh here. Maybe Brooke wouldn't air their dirty laundry to the press. But wait, no, I'm not being too harsh. This is Brooke we are talking about. When she feels humiliated, she lashes out. And Steffy is going to be laughing in her face. Steffy is going to be so smug about Hope being a traitor. So Brooke will have to save face, and throwing Hope under the bus in a glossy magazine interview might be exactly how she does it. It would humiliate Hope professionally, which is a very Forrester-esque way to handle a family feud. But okay, let's say the press isn't enough. Let's move on to scenario number 2, and this one is personal. Does Brooke kick Hope out of her house? Right now, Hope is living in the cabin on Brooke's property. She is living there with Liam Spencer and little Beth. It's been their safe haven for years. Brooke loves having them right there on the estate. She loves being able to walk over and see her granddaughter. But that arrangement might be coming to a very abrupt end. Once Brooke realizes that Hope has been lying to her, smiling in her face while plotting with Katie, Brooke might just decide that Hope is no longer welcome on her property. Just imagine the scene. Brooke marching down to the cabin, throwing the door open, and telling Hope to pack her bags. It would be incredibly dramatic. And Liam. Oh, Liam would be caught right in the middle of it. Liam is supporting Hope's move to Logan. He has been encouraging it. So Brooke is going to be furious with him too. She might just look at both of them and say, "Get off my land." I know it sounds extreme, kicking your own daughter and granddaughter out of their home. That's cold, but Brooke operates on loyalty. If you aren't loyal to her and to her vision of the family, she cuts you off. We've seen it before. The betrayal here is so deep because Hope didn't just make a career choice. She made a choice that actively embarrassed Brooke. Brooke might genuinely not be able to stomach the sight of Hope living in her backyard while working for Katie to take down Eric's haute couture line. Where would they even go? Would Bill buy them a house? Probably. Bill loves throwing his money around, especially if it annoys Brooke and Ridge. But the emotional toll of being evicted by your own mother, that would destroy Hope. Hope is so fragile sometimes, even when she's trying to be strong. Losing her home, losing that physical closeness to her mother, it would completely shatter her. And maybe that's exactly what Brooke wants. Maybe Brooke wants Hope to feel as displaced and hurt as Brooke feels right now. It's toxic. Yeah, it's incredibly toxic. But that's why we watch, right? Okay, let's take a breath. Because the third scenario is the nuclear option, scenario number 3. Does Brooke completely disown Hope and tell her she is no longer her daughter? This is the big one. This is the classic soap opera move. The ultimate declaration of war. We have to ask ourselves, could Brooke actually go that far? Could she look Hope in the eye and say, "You are dead to me"? Brooke is going to be so blinded by rage, even if Hope tries to explain herself. Even if Hope sits there crying, saying she did it for her own creative freedom, saying she felt suffocated by Steffy at Forrester, Brooke isn't going to hear it. All Brooke is going to hear is, "I chose Katie over you." The sister rivalry between Brooke and Katie is already a massive powder keg. It has been for decades. They have fought over men, they have fought over power, and now they are fighting over Hope. Brooke is going to view this as Katie stealing her daughter, but she's also going to view it as Hope willingly allowing herself to be stolen. If Hope tries to clear the air, Brooke might just shut her down completely. She might conclude that the relationship is damaged beyond repair. I can literally picture the dialogue right now. Brooke standing there, tears in her eyes, voice shaking but cold as ice. "You lied to me. You made a fool out of me. After everything I have done to protect you, you stabbed me in the back. You are not a Logan today. You are not my daughter." Wow, okay, that gave me chills just typing it. But you get what I mean. It would be a defining moment for the show. Brooke and Hope have always had this incredibly tight bond. Brooke has always been Hope's biggest cheerleader, sometimes to a fault. She has excused Hope's mistakes, fought Steffi tooth and nail for her, and always put Hope first for that bond to just snap. It would change the entire dynamic of the show. And honestly, fans on social media are already taking sides. Some people are saying Hope is totally justified. They're saying Forrester treated her like garbage, Steffi shelved her line, and she had every right to leave, and they aren't wrong. From a business perspective, Hope is doing what she has to do to survive. But the fans who are Team Brooke are pointing out that the lying is unforgivable. You don't let your mother walk into a trap. Brooke is out there defending Hope, completely unarmed, while Hope knows the bomb is about to drop. It makes you wonder how this fits into the show's usual style. Usually, the Logans eventually forgive each other. They cry, they hug, they talk about family, but this feels different. This feels like a fundamental shift in the power dynamics. Hope is stepping out of Brooke's shadow and aligning with Katie, and Brooke cannot handle not being the center of the Logan universe. Let's also talk about Steffi for a second, because you know Steffi is going to be living for this. Steffi is going to be sitting back with a giant bowl of popcorn watching Brooke and Hope tear each other apart. Steffi has spent years dealing with Brooke constantly interfering and demanding special treatment for Hope. Now, Brooke is the one being betrayed by Hope. The irony is just delicious. Steffi is going to use this to her advantage, probably to solidify her own power at Forrester Creations, now that the Hope problem has removed itself. But back to Brooke's revenge. The spoilers are making it very clear that Brooke is going to find multiple ways to make Hope suffer. It's not just going to be a one-time fight. It's going to be a sustained campaign of misery. Brooke might try to sabotage the Logan fashion show. She might try to pressure buyers into dropping Hope's line. She might use her influence in the industry to make sure Hope's new collection gets terrible reviews. Brooke has a lot of power, and a scorned Brooke is a dangerous Brooke. So, what do we think is going to happen? Is it going to be the press interviews, the eviction from the cabin, or the full-on disownment? Maybe it's a combination of all three. Maybe Brooke kicks her out, trashes her to Ion Fashion, and then tells her to lose her number. Total chaos. I'm honestly a bit tired just thinking about how exhausting these episodes are going to be. The screaming matches, the tears, the dramatic stares into the distance. But I care about these characters. I really do. I've been watching them make terrible decisions for years, and this is just the latest in a long line of epic mistakes. Hope really messed up by not being honest. She thought she was protecting her project, but she ended up destroying her family. We are in for a very bumpy ride over the next few weeks. The fallout from this ASAP fashion show is going to dictate the storylines for the rest of the year. I'm going to keep watching, keep analyzing, and probably keep ranting about it here. You guys let me know in the comments which revenge scenario you think Brooke is going to choose. Do you think she's going to go nuclear, or do you think she eventually calmed down? Alright, I need to wrap this up before I miss my deadline. My brain is officially fried from all this Forrester Logan corporate warfare. Stay tuned for the turbulent times ahead because it is going to be a wild, wild ride. The vibrant and fiercely competitive world of Los Angeles fashion is always buzzing with rumors, both on the runway and behind the closed doors of the executive suites. However, the latest whispers circulating among the devoted fanbase of the bold and the beautiful have nothing to do with stolen designs, corporate espionage, or scandalous workplace romances. Instead, the intense speculation is centered entirely on the real-life status of the incredibly talented Annika Noel, the actress who has breathed such profound life into the character of Hope Logan Spencer. For quite some time now, social media platforms have been absolutely ablaze with a singular, burning question. Is the beloved actress currently expecting a child? And are the show's wardrobe department professionals working overtime to conceal a growing baby bump on daytime television? To understand the sheer magnitude of this speculation, one must first look at the sudden and rather drastic sartorial evolution of Hope Logan. As the quintessential fashion icon of the Forrester Creations empire and now the newly crowned, rebellious star of the rival House of Logan, Hope has always been a character defined by her impeccable, trend-setting style. Historically, her wardrobe has been characterized by form-fitting silhouettes, elegant bodycon dresses, and chic, tailored outfits that perfectly accentuate her slender figure. Yet, recent episodes have showcased a highly perplexing shift in her daily attire. The sleek dresses have vanished, replaced entirely by oversized, baggy button-down shirts, heavily layered ensembles, and unusually loose-fitting, unstructured business suits. This dramatic transformation in Hope's wardrobe is particularly glaring when one considers the setting. It is currently the peak of a sweltering summer in Los Angeles, a time when lightweight fabrics and breezy cuts are the absolute norm. Therefore, seeing Hope heavily layered in voluminous clothing while navigating the sun-drenched offices and glamorous studios of the fashion world has naturally raised countless eyebrows. The incredibly sharp-eyed viewers who analyze every single frame of the half-hour drama immediately took to social media to voice their suspicions. The consensus among the digital sleuths is overwhelming. These sartorial choices are not merely a reflection of a new fashion trend, but a deliberate, calculated effort by the production team to obscure Annika Noel's changing physical silhouette. The art of hiding a real-life pregnancy on a soap opera is, of course, a time-honored tradition practically as old as the genre itself. Longtime fans of the bold and the beautiful are intimately familiar with the hilarious and often absurd lengths to which directors will go to conceal a baby bump when the character's storyline does not call for a pregnancy. One highly amused fan recently joked on a social media forum that if Hope suddenly begins carrying a giant, comically oversized, designer handbag and holding it directly in front of her stomach in every single scene, we will have our undeniable confirmation. After all, this is the exact same labyrinth in strategy the writers and directors employed to mask the multiple real-life pregnancies of Jacqueline McInnes Wood, who portrays Hope's fierce rival, Steffy Forrester Finnegan. From strategically placed fruit bowls and massive floral arrangements to standing awkwardly behind high-backed chairs and holding large stacks of fabric swatches, the visual trickery used to hide a pregnancy is a beloved, albeit transparent, soap opera trope. However, beneath the light-hearted jokes and the amusing wardrobe analysis lies a deeply emotional and profoundly poignant backstory that adds a layer of immense gravity to the current speculation. To truly understand why Annika Noel might choose to keep a potential pregnancy fiercely guarded and entirely out of the public eye, one must revisit the heartbreaking revelations she shared with the world a few years ago. In a beautifully written, devastatingly honest, and incredibly brave essay published in Glamour magazine in 2020, the actress opened up about her harrowing personal journey through the agonizing trauma of multiple miscarriages. She stripped away the glamorous Hollywood veneer to speak candidly about the silent, suffocating grief of losing a child, the grueling physical and emotional toll of fertility struggles, and the profound sense of isolation that often accompanies such devastating loss. The sheer courage it took for Annika to share her most vulnerable moments with the public cannot be overstated. Her essay resonated deeply with thousands of women around the globe who had silently endured similar tragedies, transforming her from a beloved television star into a beacon of strength and solidarity for grieving mothers everywhere. Yet, what made her real-life tragedy even more incredibly heart-wrenching was the cruel, almost unimaginable parallel it shared with her on-screen narrative at the time. While Annika was privately enduring the agonizing physical and emotional aftermath of her own miscarriages, she was simultaneously required to step in front of the cameras and portray Hope Logan's devastating, soul-crushing grief over the loss of a child on The Bold and the Beautiful. The emotional fortitude required to perform such a storyline under those circumstances is nothing short of staggering. Annika was forced to mine her own raw, bleeding psychological wounds to deliver the gut-wrenching performances that earned her widespread critical acclaim and daytime Emmy nominations. She had to cry agonizing tears for a fictional baby while her heart was completely shattered over the loss of her real ones. When the truth of her personal struggles was finally revealed to the public, a significant portion of the passionate fanbase expressed intense outrage and profound disappointment toward the show's writers and producers. Many viewers felt that forcing an actress to endure such a deeply triggering and traumatizing storyline while she was living through the exact same nightmare in her private life was a glaring failure of empathy and a shocking lack of basic human sensitivity.